Amazing.
All
Amazing. Amazing.
All right. So we're here.
We're here.
I'm here.
We're
queer.
yeah, some of us are queer.
Yes.
If you-
Some are
if you'd
queer.
like.
Are we talking about the straight girl?
I don't know. She might be more than straight.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know.
It's a spectrum.
Yeah, didn't we learn anything from last night with RuPaul's Drag Race?
Oh, that's right. We did.
Uh,
That's straight
we
male.
learned a little bit, yeah.
That straight people can
did.
do whatever they want to do.
Yeah, there was a first straight drag.
It's just a
queen.
label.
Honestly, who gives a shit?
What's just a label?
Identifying us,
Yeah.
straight male.
What's a label?
It's all
Let
a
me
label.
tell you.
A color?
Me saying that I'm like gay or someone or you saying that you're bi is an act of political. It's a political act.
Yeah.
You know?
And also me saying I'm human, which is what I've come to terms with,
Is also
the
a
same
political
thing.
act.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's very true though. I vibe with that more though. I'm
But,
like I just
you know,
vibe. I vibe.
even a dog can't say, I'm a dog. It just is.
Yeah.
And I can't say whether I am or not a human. I just am.
Okay,
That's
Toni
deep.
Morrison. You better work.
I can't not be this.
If someone tells you they're a human, believe them.
But if they are a horse,
Horse.
then run.
Exactly.
God.
Exactly. Run. Go the other direction. If
Fast.
someone tells you to watch Eternal, run. Because that movie was hot trash,
God
bitches. It was terrible.
There's a lot of plot lines.
Yeah.
Jelena.
How are you guys?
We're, good. Doing good.
That's great.
Doing great.
Yes, we're doing good.
Yeah.
Omarion's coming through.
Omarion's coming through, but
Get your variant soon.
get your variants at the corner store.
Yeah, get it at CVS if you wanna.
We'll talk about it later. I feel like I have two feelings in pertaining.
You feel like you have two feelings.
I have two feelings about the Omarion virus.
Okay.
One,
Yeah.
people should take it seriously. Think about other people
Okay.
that are immune compromised.
Goes without saying.
Obviously. And two, I also feel like people need to calm the fuck down.
Yeah, those two feelings are very polar opposite a little bit. Well, not really polar opposite, but they seem to. If you say that, that means you're crazy. is what
Exactly,
people-
but it's really
like,
not
you
though.
can't- There is no walking and chewing gum at the same time anymore. You must stand still and chew gum.
I don't have time for that. I gotta move.
I gotta chew this
go.
gum and go.
I gotta go, baby. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Also, I hope that the United States realizes that greed gets you nowhere.
Yeah, always. Well, that just depends on who they're trying to get to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Because Pharma, Moderna, they're going somewhere. They're getting the checks.
That's true.
But for us, it's not really fun.
The what?
Whatever.
The plug for her iPad.
Oh, it's dead.
Oh, you died?
iPad dead.
Do you want to plug it in for you?
Plug it in. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta put it down for a
Right,
few
why don't
minutes.
you
I have a
talk
fast
about-
charger.
That's probably a fast charger too. It's USB-C, USB. Yeah, just give it to Ricky. He's the only.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just sitting here watching you guys juggle with this.
Jesus Christ.
Hello.
Hey, Mariah, you
Hi,
here
Malcolm.
too?
Hi, Ricky. Hi, Cam.
Hello. Oh,
Oh
shit.
yeah, he's a little loud.
There we go.
We're just chilling,
Vibing.
talking.
How was y'all's
about-
holiday?
What's that on? What's that
was
on your
great.
headphones? This little fluff. We saw each other on the holiday.
What's going on with my hair?
Nothing.
Okay.
A lot of time with the family.
Oh yeah, Mariah went to Mexico.
Mariah went to Mexico.
How amazing.
Tell us about it.
It was great.
Was it warm?
It was very warm.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
It does.
It was
kinda
warm here
confuse
too,
my-
though.
And you went to the beaches?
Yeah.
Oh, that must
And
have
the
been amazing.
cenotes.
Wow. those caves.
Cenotes.
Cenotes. I want to go
Can
see
you tell
that.
us what cenotes translates to?
No.
You haven't learned anything when you were over there?
Just swam in
I'm
it.
joking.
So look it up on Google.
Yes.
Spelled C-N-O-T.
Okay.
Nice.
I wish I could go out of the country during a pandemic.
Well, if you're
You
gonna go
can.
anywhere,
I'm
you
just
can.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
You can. You
Yeah.
could.
I could. I'm just
Yeah.
lazy. Where would you guys travel to that's banned right now?
I mean, anywhere. I still want to go to Africa.
Me too.
Like South Africa seems pretty chill. You know.
I'm sure right now they're just fine. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, they're more than fine.
you know, they've bounced.
They have a young population.
Right? And there's a lot of young black people that
Yeah.
just left the country to go out there. I would be down for South Africa. It's very queer friendly. It's very cool for the most part.
Yeah.
They have no water, but you know, you can get around that. You can get around that. They don't have any water.
It's just
Shortages.
Yeah. You know, the country that has a lot of old people.
Yeah. Well,
We're in it.
can I ask you this question?
Nope.
Okay, so well, I'm gonna do it anyways, bitches.
Aye.
So, okay, I was listening to the news and they were talking about mortality rate. For a while, they were like,
it has dropped here in the U.S.
it has dropped.
Remember we
significantly.
talked about that on the
We,
episode.
we sure did. But they said at the same time, or no, not mortality rate, the birthing rate in the country has
Very
dropped.
correlated.
But no.
So-
But check this though. Recently on the news, they released. I saw this on I think CBS News. They reported a story where it was like the birthing rate in the country has gone down.
Yeah.
It has gone up a scotch of recent, but for the most part, it's just like, oh shit.
Well, yeah,
it's concerning.
So,
But at the
both
same time, older people are living longer.
no,
That's what they said.
that's not happening. Because remember that one episode we were talking about
Yes.
mortality rate and like life expectancy in
Yes.
America. That's dropping. So the life expectancy is dropping.
That's because of COVID and the epidemic of
SARS.
No,
It's because
fentanyl.
of- it's-
The overdoses.
Yeah, it's
The
because
drug
of
overdoses?
COVID,
Yeah.
drug overdoses with the younger population, and then you have just a high population of old people here in America. And so you have that, and then you have people having less babies, and then you have a slowing down of population.
Well, it makes sense. Who's trying to have a baby in a pandemic?
Well, even before
And
the
also
pandemic,
with,
That's
cost
true.
of living.
even before the pandemic, this
expensive.
was happening because we just didn't have the money to raise kids.
Obviously.
Let's see.
It's a whole
that
generation,
hates.
a new generation. So obviously the
Yeah.
stuff's going to go different ways.
Let's see. The World Historical and Pediatric Crude Death Rates.
It's a long ass name.
This is from the UN.
I thought pediatric was
That's what
for kids.
Kids.
I think.
children.
I think that it's
Children.
predicted. I just wrote that wrong. My bad. Predicted. It's predicted.
Okay.
I was like, pediatric. I was like, how the fuck does that make sense? I don't understand what this means. So it says from the CDR. What does CDR mean? What the fuck does that mean?
Common data.
Let me see.
Look at that. Read that.
Wiki.
Read that chart.
Wiki.
Wiki.
Where were you? Oh. CDR.
Scooby Doo. I'm telling you.
It sounds
What are you
like
telling
me? Old
CDR
people keep-
is cause of death rate.
Oh. Well, if people are living forever, then what the fuck is gonna happen in 20 years?
Well,
We're just gonna have
no.
a bunch of old people just mixing around.
No.
That's what's happening
No.
in Japan.
People are not living forever.
Well, not forever, but
It's just
you know.
that there
Not
are people having less children here in America, and then,
I feel like people are
there's
worried
more-
about that because then when you think of our generation when they get older, they're like, who's going to be taking care of them? Like, in terms of nursing,
Nobody.
the healthcare section, the just every sector of
It's
We're
just gonna be eventually we're just gonna become a mostly young population once all most of
the baby
older-
boomers.
Yeah, once they drop off at a certain point,
That's not,
And let's see.
which happens.
yes,
well,
it's
Just trying
natural.
to get to that.
Because they're fighting like hell to stay around as long as they fucking can. I respect
Which
it.
is the point of COVID.
Deaths per 100,000 live births. What the fuck does that mean?
For every 100 births.
Maternal-
Look.
I don't know.
I just want to know. I want to. But it's good.
Saw this on CBS.
I just want to read.
Yes.
We're talking.
Enlighten me.
Fact stats. Fact stacks.
Uh,
Mortality and rate. It says number of deaths. There's 3,383,729 deaths. The death rate is 1,270 deaths per 100,000 population. Interesting. Life expectancy currently is 77.
yes, which is lower.
Infant mortality rate is 5.42 deaths per 100,000 lives. Okay, now it breaks it down into like reasons for death. It says heart disease, 696,962 deaths. Cancer, 602,350 deaths. And when I googled mortality rate, it did say something about I guess cancer mortality rate has gone down. Or down. I don't know what that means. Accidents, 200,000. Strokes, 160,000. COVID, 350,831 deaths. That's crazy.
Those deaths are miscounted.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm not saying this site is accurate.
No, it's probably accurate.
Holy shit, this is the United States government?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the CDC. Wow. There we go. CDC.
But
they're also shady.
But me watching Anthony Fauci testify and him saying, "Oh, when we say it's a COVID death, it could be someone who goes in the hospital with a gunshot wound to the head. They test positive for COVID, and they say it's a COVID death."
Oh.
So he said that while testifying in the Senate, and he's like, "These numbers are being miscounted."
What the fuck?
And so when we're doing this whole COVID death tracker, it's not accurate at all. And 80 to 90% of the people they have 3 to 5 comorbidities. So it's like when Colin Powell died, they were like, "Oh, he died from COVID. He had colon cancer."
Which,
You almost are definitely gonna die from
He
that.
did die, though. I just assumed, though.
He was on his deathbed, and then he got COVID.
I
So
will
it's-
say, I just did some number crunching. I looked up what the life expectancy rate in 2012 was.
Mhm.
And you're right, it did go down from 78.8 years to 77 years.
Yeah, it went down a little bit, but it's just not good for it to go down. That shows that your people
Yeah.
are dying quicker.
And that's because of
This is not
COVID.
good.
But COVID is
No,
But
it
COVID
was
is the thing
it was
where
before COVID came, because that's
Yeah.
living to 77. Having the expectancy to live to 77 is not good.
let's see what it
It's
is.
the
in
average.
You should be
1980.
able to, averagely live in your 80s. You want to be able to, but
It seems like in the 80s though it was bad because in the 80s life expectancy was in the year 1980 the average life expectancy was 73 years old.
Well, advancements.
But let's-
in
yeah.
Let's do another
medicine
year.
and all that.
Let's see. Let's do the 90s. Let's see, maybe
92,
92. Okay,
my birth of year.
so it did go up. So in 1992, the life expectancy rate. Anybody want to take a guess what it was?
It was
75.
70.
Did you see?
77.0.
It's 75.
It's 75? Get out of here. That's crazy.
Yeah, it was 75.
Okay.
So that's
We
interesting.
made quite advancements.
So then what makes the things go down? Is it opioid?
Mm-hmm.
yes.
COVID?
Well, it's not that made it go down.
Yeah.
It's just that since that place when it was 77,
Yeah.
there's been no changes. So since then, the only hospitals infrastructure we have, it's just crumbling to the point where now the actual infrastructure bill, billions of dollars for medical, billions of dollars for roads and bridges, which we should have done decades ago.
Yeah, we should have done that in the 90s,
Like,
to be honest.
That
The
should have
2000s.
been done. So the money that we're putting into the infrastructure is only for us to catch up to what we needed to be a decade ago.
Right.
There's other countries that have high-speed rail,
Germany.
like the most advanced shit that we could have had.
Can I, not to interrupt, but on the topic of high-speed rails, did I not see something about, maybe I listened to it on NPR, they were talking about how the Texas Supreme Court had a meeting to basically talk about the planning of building a high-speed rail from Houston to Dallas.
Yeah.
And they had to, it was basically to figure out what is the differentiation between a trail service or a train service versus a rail service.
Yeah.
So that they can protect their industries.
Right.
Which is interesting. So I'm like, I didn't think that they would have to do like a court ruling for something like that.
Because
you know?
when you build stuff like that, a lot
It's
of
because it's a
interest
lot
comes
of
in,
money.
and people are trying to get that money. You know, who's going to pay for it? Who's going to build it?
having
and if
to
you're
pay
doing
off
it-
the people's land.
Yeah,
that
how
they're
much
gonna build
tax
through.
incentives you get?
A lot of legals.
Okay,
Yes.
that makes
A lot of
sense.
legals.
Gotta pay your
Boundary
attorney.
lines.
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking do that. I'm just saying. Like
Yeah.
Texas, if we don't fucking do this stuff, we're fucking doomed. We need to legalize weed. We need to fix our roads. Texas used to be known for its roads.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we are, I just don't understand it. We should be
Going
able to like
backwards.
separate from the country if we wanted to and be able to operate successfully. But
if we did it the right way,
if we did
I
it the
wouldn't
right
mind.
way,
Shit,
you know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
I feel like we're on the cusp. Texas is on the cusp of maybe getting to a place.
Just breaking off. Just
Yeah, and we should we need to
Floating
get
out-
ourselves together first.
floating out to the Gulf of Mexico on our own.
We would be better off. I'm just saying, but like we just need to get our shit together because we got all the good stuff. We just need to like, you know what I'm saying?
All the land, tropical, dry, whatever you want.
We have all the seasons.
All of it.
All the seasons. Okay, so we just need to like chill.
Mhm.
We need to chill
Yeah.
and get it together, people. Jesus.
Oh, man. Well, we're gonna take a little break.
Okay.
But our main topic, we're gonna dive a little deeper into COVID and what we think about what's going on.
With the Omarion.
Supreme Court just had a ruling that
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about.
Poor Joe. Oh, Joe. Oh, Joe. He's not from Wisconsin, right? He's from Joe.
I thought he's on
Biden?
in
Yeah. Where's he?
Virginia.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Different accent. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe.
All right.
All right.
See y'all.
Okay.
We'll
We'll be right back. Six, five, four,
three, two, one.
boom, that
Bus.
There we go.
Chili over there. She's Chili Mac.
Chili Mac.
All right.
Chili. Oh, Chili Mac. When are you
So
coming back?
we're back on the thing.
Yeah, welcome back to A Lot to Say. We
Oh.
got so much to freaking say.
We're
Shout
gonna
out to
get
Ty
into the
Pennington.
really.
Hi, Ty.
Hi, Ty.
What's up? What's up, dog?
Hi, Ty. We want
Um,
to tell you that your frosted tips are legendary.
I hope you're doing good in this pandemic.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's probably good.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something about this damn pandemic.
What?
The best thing to do, go
Mhm.
for a walk, do some stretching,
Yeah.
get some vitamin D. When was the last time you drank a glass of orange juice?
Probably last week. But I got some vitamin D gummies.
Work. Vitamin D gummies. That's
Yeah,
classy.
Jules.
Vitamin D3, I think.
D3. Whatever.
D3.
The nature's.
Nature. Let me tell you
Awesome.
something about those gummies. Okay, they're dangerous.
Are they?
I have to tell I've never done I would never just eat a whole freaking bottle. That's wild.
Why
It's
would you?
Well,
But when you look at it, you're just
trying to
like,
say.
I would take 3 of them. I've never done that.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's
you
not
know.
really easy to overdose. You can take more than what it says. It says 2 a day, but you can take 3 or 4.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying for a greed level. I would never just be like, nom, 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 nom.
Well, you shouldn't.
You know?
You shouldn't.
Because,
It's supposed to be vitamins.
Yeah.
the
You get 'em-
vitamins,
you,
yeah.
go, you get them in doses.
But they're so confusing. You know what I'm saying? You look at it, you dump out 4 in your hand, you're like, I would just eat that.
Yeah, people have a.
But you don't. You put the other 3 back, Blanche.
I saw an ad. They had
Control.
your vitamins all in package for each day. So you have a
Yeah.
little plastic
You have your
packaging,
the
and it's 10
you know,
pills.
the Monday, Wednesday,
I've
Wednesday.
seen those.
It's crazy. I'm like, damn.
Where it's, but I've heard though that some of those multivitamin things that it's bullshit.
Yeah, I heard some of them. They don't actually go into your system. It just sort of you pee it out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you gotta
exactly.
make sure how you're getting it. I guess.
That it ingests
Yeah.
correctly.
So for your immune system,
Talk about it.
you really need to get that vitamin D. Get the
D.
K2, which is apparently in fermented foods.
Okay.
So
Is that if I drink kombucha, would that count?
Yeah,
yeah,
kombucha's fermented.
Okay. I don't drink kombucha like
Pickles,
that, but
kimchi,
oh, I love
Pickled
pickles. Okay, then I'm
vegetables.
good.
grass fed beef.
I have that big ass jar of pickles in my house, and I just snack on it from time to time.
Well,
And I've been very fortunate during this whole
with
pandemic.
vitamin D.
Well, yeah. I mean, I have my vitamin D too because I drink orange juice. I drink a lot of orange juice, and I eat pickles.
That's good.
But
Love
you
pickles.
want to get straight up vitamin D also. Just as black people, we need it more than.
What
yeah.
about Sunny D?
No.
I'm just kidding.
That's,
What about Tang?
that's acid.
Dang. Oh my gosh. Acid. I grew up with that as a kid.
Whoa.
Tang.
Yes.
Those commercials used to gag me with the little monkey.
Also,
in his
just
spacesuit. Sorry.
moving your body.
Yes, doing yoga.
Yeah, doing yoga. We do
Oh, that was
yoga.
intense.
Well, yeah, I feel. Can we talk about that real
Yeah.
quick? We did yoga for the first time in a week and a half, right?
Mhm.
On Wednesday.
Yeah.
I feel like Tracy Lynn, who I would love to bring her on this podcast to
Yes.
interview her because she's so
We
cool.
got to.
I feel like that woman was trying to get back at us for skipping out on
No,
that.
Get out of
we,
here.
We needed it.
No, we needed it.
It was a
I was
break.
here for
We
it.
didn't skip. It
She
was
had
her
shit, right?
because she was painting her house.
But no. There was one day before she canceled it.
Oh,
no
well,
one came.
Oh, that's
that
right. I remember
happens,
that.
That
Before we were going, it was only her and Mariah.
That's true. But
Well,
I think that's
literally.
what she was doing. She was
Well,
like,
Nah.
"You bitches."
I believe
let's whip
that.
you into
We-
shape.
Cam, I believe
needed-
that.
we
I believe
def-
it.
Because remember, she told you to tell me get your shit together.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
I
what she
respect
always.
her.
I
She
respect
always
that.
says that. But
Listen, I think
I'm
she
just
did that. and I
saying-
respect
Yeah.
her.
When she was like double time, I'm like,
Yeah!
oh, get out of here.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
I was like ready to
She.
be done with
she
What
it.
did-
just knew we needed it. We all needed
What
it.
did you think, Mariah?
I mean, she already says if we don't show up, she just goes and works out at the
Yeah.
gym.
Yeah.
So
Huh?
she doesn't try and hold you back.
Yeah, it's not that.
And I'm not saying that she's. I'm not saying that she's was angry at us, but I think she was like, "Yeah, bitches, welcome back.
I don't think so.
Let's whip those asses into shape."
Me and
I'm
her had
telling you.
a random ass conversation.
Uh-huh.
She came to the shop on a Monday,
Mhm.
and she was showing me the paint on her walls that she had done.
What
Ooh.
color are they?
Like a olive green.
That's cool.
Okay, that's cute.
Really nice.
Very
Floor to
calm.
ceiling.
Oh.
Floor to ceiling. Very nice.
Ooh.
She has good eye.
And yeah, we just had a pretty good conversation,
Mhm.
and I just get the sense that she's not that type of person. Immediately.
And again, I don't think it's wrong to be like, "Let's go." Susan Powder.
Who's that?
She's like a workout lady in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I respect that about her.
We do.
That's just
But
what I think. But I do feel like doing yoga during this time period also has been amazing for me. You know what I'm
it's
saying?
good. It's good for you.
It's very good.
It's it gets you connected to meditation, which
Mhm.
controls your breathing, which is good for your immune system also.
Exactly.
Breathing right.
Oxygen.
Yeah.
What else? What else is good for you in this time of despair? Just kidding.
Not keeping a peace of mind.
Mm.
This kind of happened at our job. One of our coworkers, his roommate, tested positive, right?
Mhm.
So the next day, anybody who was around that person had to get tested.
Of course. Right.
Not but everybody had the choice to say, I don't really want to. But I was just sitting there working, and the manager came up, and he just kind of plopped the laptop there, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna set up your test. I was like, all right, well, I'm not paying for it, so sure.
Yeah.
And Carson, who was in the car all day
Yeah.
with that person who had eventually tested positive because his roommate was, Carson was negative.
Yeah.
Me too. A lot of other people tested positive. In it, you could tell that it kind of like put a little scare in some people, like, oh, that person's positive. I was around him. This person isn't. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
And then immediately the CDC, 5 days. From 10 to 5 days.
Which let me ask you about that. Okay, I have two things. One, there's already obviously a stigma against people who are positive with
Remember
COVID.
what I told you?
It's the new
HIV.
HIV. I agree with you on that fully. And so my question now is like, we now live in this like cool queer positive world. You know what I'm saying? Where, an HIV test is dropped at your door. And if you're positive, it's no big thing.
It's whatever.
It's not the death sentence that it was.
Everybody got PrEP.
It's different.
So how much longer is it going to be until we start seeing ads that are like destigmatizing? Just because it's basically like getting the flu.
It is.
And
I mean, like I said, I was watching Fauci testify, and when I heard him say shit like he was so casual about deaths or just how we're doing the numbers, how a lot has to do with staffing in the hospitals. They're making it seem like
there's a shortage,
which there is.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with the vaccine mandates.
Which, by the way, I have to say, I feel like, and this is going to sound insensitive or chaotic or whatever, cancel me, send me to Parlor.
Okay.
I feel like if people survived the original COVID-19 variant and Delta, they're going to be okay.
They're very much okay.
You know what I'm saying?
If all of us went a whole year without a vaccine.
2 years.
We made it through the fucking plague, bitches.
Yeah, we kind of
came out of it.
Kind of did it.
So I just feel like,
but
who cares?
That goes back to what we were talking about the little COVID tracker death counter.
Yeah.
Oh, we're almost at 1 million deaths here and there, but they're literally not telling us, oh yeah, but America has the most comorbidities here than any other country.
Yeah.
Our health is shit.
Yeah.
All the food, being active, not telling people just to stay inside. That has nothing to do with your health.
Exactly. I was like, how many of these people, and we talked about this on a past episode, how many of these cases are cases coupled with heart disease? Stroke.
Remember, you just read it.
The
number one death is heart disease.
Heart disease in America.
It's not COVID. And then number 2 is cancer. So when you have someone die from COVID, they probably have high blood pressure, diabetes, something that's like, if they get COVID, they're almost most likely their immune system's just not going to be good enough to fight it.
It says right now at this moment in time, there have been 5.41 million cases of COVID in the country. I should also Google how many cases of the flu there have been this year alone.
A gajillion.
Let's see.
So far, see if you can find a COVID death in America from Omicron.
COVID death Omicron. Okay, let's see. Omicron drives. Oh no, I need the number for today's date. Let's see. Death toll. Yikes! That's so that's so dark. Death toll. Omicron U.S. death toll. Jesus Christ!
Just do death from Omicron. Deaths from Omicron.
Why is it doing this? Oh, it's because they didn't spell death right. Wow.
Um,
Texas education. That's the thing though. It's not giving me a number. Show. New virus cases begin to slow in the U.S. Cities where Omicron hit first. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Okay, so this says another bleak moment in the pandemic for the United States, with nearly 800,000 new cases, 800,000 new cases a day, deaths rising, and federal medical teams deploying to overwhelming hospitals. Okay, you're not giving me numbers. And that's so.
Hard,
But isn't
yeah.
that interesting though? Why is it so hard to find this information?
go to the CDC website.
Okay.
They might.
Let's see. Let me see. CDC. Okay. Where do we go?
You see how hard it is to find this,
This is actually super wild.
and this is because there probably aren't any deaths from Omicron.
Damn, bitch. Which also makes sense because most people that get it, they're sick and they go back to work.
Yes,
But now my question though is, as far as the recovery time, them cutting it down
5 days,
to 5 to 10.
and they
Uh-huh.
so they didn't do that from any science.
They did that because they wanted people to go back to work.
Well, the CDC didn't want Delta Airlines and the travel agency administration. They said we want our people to go back to work. Yeah, so they got with the CDC, and the CDC was like, "All right, 5 days now."
That's why there was so much flight cancellation.
Yes.
Because like at my job, what I find interesting, and I do work for the state, I thought that it was going to be 5 days just for like all companies. The state is still like, nah, bitch.
Yeah.
You
No,
got
it's
10 to 12 days.
it's up to-
sit your ass down.
it's up to the
It's
state.
the state level.
Yeah.
And see, that's the
Isn't that
bullshit
interesting
because
that the
they
state did that, by the way.
but
the state
they
of Texas.
the reason why they did that is because the CDC surprised the state because the Joe Biden administration was like, "Oh, just go by the science. We're going by the science," and then the CDC completely did it non-based on science,
right.
and so everybody was like, even the doctors, they were like, "I don't want to just stay out for 5 days. I kind of want to take my 10 days because that's what you said before."
Right.
Why is Delta telling us how many days to stay?
Yeah, who the fuck
So-
is Delta Airline?
The thing is that when the pharmaceutical companies here in the US do their studies, they're very private about it. Africa was totally transparent with their studies.
They just said it.
So
And then
they
we shut
gave
them
us,
out.
They gave us the information, and they basically said within 5 days you're probably good with this Omicron variant.
Oh, okay.
So the CDC didn't want to say that in the beginning because that would cut down on that would be going against the science, what they say to do. But then Delta and the airline administration was like, "No, we know what the real science is. Plus, we want our people to go back to work because flights are being delayed in the thousands. We're losing money, even though we made a big check during the pandemic.
So in actuality, the airline copped the information
Yes.
and they were like, "We're gonna make our own educated decision." So it's not that they made a bad decision.
It was a good decision,
Yeah.
but it wasn't based on science, and it wasn't based on the interest of the working
Of the
class,
people.
of the people,
Right.
of anything to do with the pandemic. It just had to do with numbers.
Okay.
And the same goes with the supply chain and the doctors. The doctors were, also afraid of them not having enough protection. And so they were like, there are some doctors calling out sick, and you got like New York, they're sending the National Guard over there. LA, they're sending the National Guard because
it
there's
that
just a
bad?
shortage of people that they just feel like, one, they're not getting paid enough to be in this environment, and from what the CDC says and what the news is saying, oh, it's a deadly variant going around quicker than anything else. So, not everybody gets the information the same way and then takes it in, even as a nurse or a doctor, and
Right.
kind of calms themselves down. And that's what I mean by, having your mind in the right mind
spot.
frame,
Yeah.
to where when the news just says, oh, there's this extremely contagious thing going around, you don't immediately get scared. And that's what I said when we had a meeting at work. I was just telling everybody that I'm willing to give up my test because this company has to pay $100 and something whatever dollars for me to get tested.
Right.
And I came out negative. And I could have told you, hey, how about you give this test to one of the coworkers who has someone at home with a comorbidity?
Yeah.
And then it's reserved for them. Everybody else is fine. Whenever anybody says, oh, I'm positive or whatever, if that is still a thing, we know who to give the test to.
Yeah.
And we don't have to be out 5, 6 people for
Yeah.
5 days, which is crazy.
Because in my mind, the whole coworker thing, Carson getting tested, that makes
Yeah.
sense to me because Carson was literally in the same proximity.
Mhm.
But maybe paying for a whole field
No.
worth of people, that to me is just
And-
holy shnikes.
And I think they realized it that day because they were like, okay, maybe we should ask some people if they want to or not.
Yeah. Which is how
And-
it should always be.
There's
Yeah.
a choice.
Everything should be an option. I
Yeah,
am pro-choice with everything.
And that goes to the Supreme Court decision.
Yeah.
They decided to not do a national mandate or to have
Vaccine
OSHA do the mandate.
I honestly am okay
companies.
with that though.
Yeah, me too.
I'm okay with that.
That's a good decision.
Was it a bipartisan decision on the Supreme Court, or was it a left and right situation?
I mean, it was a left and right situation, but since they have more
the
right
event.
judges,
Yeah.
But
I just wondered.
it was just that the judges that were arguing for it had the wrong information, and then she actually went viral for saying things like, "Oh, if you're vaccinated, you'll stop the spread of the virus."
That's not true.
And then the guy who was arguing against it, he was like, "Look, the numbers for Omicron is saying the vaccine that we have now does nothing against you
It's
getting
water.
whether you get it or not."
Well, also, not to cut you off, but we look at countries like Germany and like Austria,
Mhm.
I think Germany and Austria, whatever, where they have had mandate after mandate. Same with Israel.
Yeah,
I think Israel is on its seventh mandate.
big protests
Yeah.
in Amsterdam.
And my thing too, dude, all of those shots that you're giving, they could have given those shots easily to countries in Africa that was not able to get access to any vaccine
because of the close expiration dates of those vaccines. Some countries are refusing
Yeah,
the
they're saying,
shipment.
"Don't
They're
give
like,
it to
don't
us."
give it to us because it's going to expire. Like
By the time,
Yeah,
and
so
there was
quickly.
a syringe shortage, so they were sending whatever million of vaccines to Africa, but they didn't have any syringes.
I think personally for me, the only reason why I didn't get a booster was because I was like, I feel like it's crazy that some countries don't even have vaccine or haven't shot given the shot yet.
Millions
And
of people.
do I really need a third one? So for me,
Yeah.
that's why I didn't get it. I was like,
I feel like I got the booster because I was like, it's there.
yeah.
Why not?
And
You
that's a
know.
conversation
personal
that
choice.
we
Myself and
can
my
have.
doctor.
Yeah, if you feel like you need to get it for yourself, do it.
Do
yeah,
it.
But
it's a personal choice.
as
Yeah.
it a federal administration to say, oh, if we all get it, then you won't die.
it'll be herd immunity.
No,
It's like,
no,
bitch,
no.
that's not how it
And
works.
that's what one of the judges kept saying. She was like, you're 98%, less chance of dying if you have the vaccine. No.
I heard
No.
Apple, they're now, I think, requiring the booster shot for their
For
employees.
employees.
Are
yeah.
you serious?
Apple.
Yeah, a
That's
lot
what I
of
heard
companies
about
are
it.
doing that. And,
It's
they're
interesting.
I get on a company's standpoint where maybe they're like, we don't want to get sued for that, but at the same
I don't
time,
know how
it's
they
like
could.
they cannot sue you if someone gets the flu in the
Exactly.
workplace.
I think it's just
they're
wrong.
making this.
I think it's just wrong to require, someone to, do something medically.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
feel like that
it's
has to be a
not-
personal choice. You have to have,
It's against the law.
your freedom to
Because
do
like my
control
thing,
of your
I'm
body.
gonna get any shot that they ask me to, as long as it doesn't have meth in it. You know what I'm saying?
You
Shoot
sure?
it up my body. I'm
sure?
positive. I'll take that in a pill form. No, I'm
Oh
kidding.
my
I'm
God.
kidding.
But it's just it makes people so skeptical when they're even the Supreme Court's like, nah,
Yeah.
that ain't it. And the argument was just really too good because of how weak the current vaccine is against Omicron.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
I feel like this whole ploy that they use to push people to vote for Joe because of the vaccine,
Yeah.
it seems like it's now backfiring on Joe Biden.
Oh, and Jen Psaki actually talked about that. She was like, "Oh, remember when the vaccine first came out? There was so much vaccine hesitancy because it was coming from a Republican, president. So you could understand that we had hesitancy. Yes, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris both said on TV, I don't know if I'm gonna take it. So that's where the hesitancy came from. And then once they found out that Joe Biden was president, you better get vaccinated. It's the same fucking vaccine.
My thing is, and I agree, we watched the clip from the Today Show,
Yeah.
and they kept asking, so when are these tests
When are we
gonna
gonna get these tests?
Soon.
Soon.
Why didn't we get
We're
them
doing
when it
it.
first came out?
Because you know why, Ricky? Because
Like,
America is
Jesus
selfish.
Christ.
And because America didn't want to share the
We
recipe,
sold it off.
we sold it off.
Well, I mean, with
You
the
know?
vaccine, yes, we didn't want the rights to go anywhere else.
So
but with
they
the
bought it
tests,
all up.
they bought all the other countries
I know.
said, "Fuck it, we're just gonna get tests."
And honestly, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, they did what they had to do.
This is the problem that we created. So
It
this
is.
is what we're sitting in.
Definitely.
Sorry.
Coming full circle.
Coming full
in their
circle.
faces,
But
yes.
when they asked Jen Psaki that first time, she was like, "What are we supposed to do? Just send everybody a test?" Then-
Absolutely. Duh,
that was funny.
bitch.
That clip, I remember that, and I was like,
She
damn,
got in
she
so
got a
much
little
trouble for
sassy.
that.
Oh my God, man.
She's
You know,
crazy. It's really
and we
crazy.
talked shit about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. We roasted that woman.
Exactly.
We called that woman ugly
Uh-huh.
on a national
That's
platform
irrelevant.
as a
What in the
country.
world?
So now I'm like,
Disgraceful.
this is just everyone's a mess. Everyone's a
I'm
mess.
just glad that she's
Oh,
actually,
man.
still with it
You
for
know,
this long.
I just
So
want
good
to
for her.
say too, though, not about COVID, but I'm just this is like on a history basis. Like you look at clips of Saturday Night Live in the 70s and the 80s. If we all think like, oh, whenever they say like, I'm looking for an America that's simpler, that is more united and is more sophisticated. Tell me when that has ever happened in the history of this
We're
country.
going the other way right
Yeah,
now.
it's honestly we've always been a mess.
There are
to be
peop-
honest, this is the first time in the American history. This is the first time probably we've been moving in the right direction. You know what I'm saying?
Just now.
Just now, for the first 5 seconds. So
What were you
sorry.
gonna say?
Go ahead.
No, I was. There's always gonna. I don't know whether you're informed or not. Remember, we were watching Project Runway. The guy was like, the 19-something 40s was like the best period or something, and then the
Mhm.
black girl, she called him out for saying that
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
a lot of shit was still happening.
Of course.
I'm like,
No
It just
time-
depends on what you're talking about. Because
Yeah.
there was like a time when FDR was president, and we voted for him 4 times. That's because people were actually getting
making money.
But that ain't the same for every color spectrum.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It
Because
wasn't
redlining
good for
was still, like-
everybody.
yeah, FDR may have been great for white people, but black people are still
Yeah,
getting redlined
there
in their
was
neighborhood.
some,
You know what I'm saying?
form of inequality.
Exactly.
Long ago. And the same thing is happening all the way up until now.
Yeah.
And then, you have the Trump presidency that kind of polarizes people to think this side against that side. And then
Yeah.
you get the COVID mixed in with that. And now if you talk anything bad about the vaccine, you're anti-vaxxer, even if you're vaxxed.
It's, on The View, Whoopi Goldberg would always speak up in defense of like Republicans, because she would always say like, we don't need to villainize people on their party. We need to villainize them for their bad behavior.
Yeah.
And so I agree with that, because she was like, we don't need to do like a McCarthyism thing and just start attacking people because they claim that they're Republican or kicking a cow.
It's wrong.
Because that's wrong. But at the same time, though, it feels like the McCarthyism thing kind of did creep its way in now. Now it's with the shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And how you feel about the shot.
I'm just waiting for them to say something about fully vaccinated means you have the booster.
I think they've already done that, have they not?
No.
Not yet?
Not yet. It's up to the state now, but there's certain like medical fields, they've mandated that. But I don't know if it's still also you have to get the booster or it's just the first two, because none of them protect you from getting Omicron.
Ironically, the state that made that weird fucking bullshit abortion law is the same state that I don't think will ever allow for something like that to happen, which is hilarious to me.
It's pretty crazy.
And I hope that in some kind of way with like the state constitution, that this weird contradiction backfires and has abortion legalized in the state. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because this is a choice for your body to do what you want to do.
So,
and I feel like people have the choice to do whatever.
Yeah.
I may not
no
agree
vaccine mandates, no,
and I'm
hard abortion laws.
Not to be like dark too, but I also go for like drugs. Like, if you feel like heroin is your gig, I'm not gonna stop you. I mean, I don't condone it. But this is your body. It's your choice.
Heroin will get you.
Everything has a
everything
has a dosage.
Yeah.
And everything has a
limit.
It's chemical compound that's perfect for what it is.
Exactly.
Once it starts getting on the streets, then it has other shit that
gets cut into it.
Where you get overdoses and deaths.
Fentanyl.
So
So that's just my thing. I'm like, it needs to be a choice. Vaccine, all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Definitely.
And meanwhile, all the people who are dispensing all this fucking energy towards getting their friends vaxxed, let's go back and have those friends talk about if they're still chanting Black Lives Matters on their social media page and putting black tiles up. Are they still doing that shit? Nope. So shut the fuck up.
Oh my God.
Sorry. Sorry. I apologize. Ooh, I don't know who that was for, but
that was you.
I hope that
somebody.
I don't know who that was for, but whoever was for,
just what I was about to talk about. Lori in Chicago.
Okay.
Closing all the goddamn
schools. That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
All the schools in Chicago
are closed because they can't come up with the resolution.
No online learning.
I don't think
just online.
Yeah, just online.
Only.
But the schools are closed because they can't come up with a common ground.
That's the second largest school district in America.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
Think about what all black kids.
That's messed up. Well, I saw a picture.
There was parents who are at work. Parents have to work.
I saw a picture. There was in Virginia, I believe. There was a school. They had their kids. These are probably like 8 years old, 7 years old. They were outside learning. It was 29 degrees out there. They were outside.
Oh, no.
The teacher was reading a book. And they
trying to get them sick.
They're all in their coats and all that. I'm like,
trying.
What the fuck is going on?
Is this for real?
Yes, they were on the sidewalk. They were literally outside of the school building.
People, man.
I was like, oh my God, you guys are crazy.
They're willing to freeze their children.
I'll send you the picture because it was wild.
Can I tell you something? Okay, so when I was in high school, at a good old Round Rock High School, I remember learning that my building had asbestos in it.
Oh shit!
Asbestos in the building. But did they evacuate the building?
Hell no.
Did we do outside learning?
No.
Bitch, no. They told us sit your ass down and take the tax test in this little last room.
Breathe it in. Become immune.
Become immune to the asbestos. What is wrong with this country? I don't understand.
Backwards.
Backwards.
Very.
That is wild.
All the studies show that even with the original COVID, kids are more likely to be struck by lightning than dying from COVID.
Exactly. Because why? Kids' immune systems are rock solid.
They're fire.
They're
immune
still
system.
learning.
Yeah.
Whatever comes through them, like, their body will somehow.
Yeah, it's like, wow,
They'll
learn
bounce
it.
it back.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is also, we talked again about the immune, the mortality rate.
Yeah.
Young Black people, let us do better than our ancestors. Let's keep exercising. Keep
Yeah.
doing all that shit.
We-
keep doing your TikTok dances.
Every once in a while you can go back to the slave food and get the collard greens
Yeah.
and the oxtail and the pig feet
Yeah.
and the
Like, we all
sweet
live for
potato
it.
pie. We know.
But we know better, y'all.
But
Okay.
you gotta slow it down with
Yeah.
the carbs and
Yeah.
the sugar.
And I'm talking to myself too.
Yeah,
I've
all
done
of
a
us.
lot. You know what I'm
All
saying?
got to do it. Salt.
But we are doing, and I'm going to tell you, young Black people, we are doing great.
We are actually.
We're fantastic.
They don't want to say that,
But we're doing fucking
Africa's thriving right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you know what?
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Africa.
Thank you.
Thank you for sending Omicron over here.
Because
Merck and Delta.
exactly.
Black
People again
Again.
save the fucking
They
day.
saved Joe Biden's
Damn.
presidency.
Damn.
Now they saved us in the pandemic.
And they saved Kamala's edges.
I know.
God bless.
Always.
I don't understand.
How do we do it?
Because we're magical. That's why. Because we're magical.
They
Negroes.
literally gave
That's
us a
just-
weaker variant
Literally.
so we could all just get it and,
Be
end
done
this
with
shit.
Honestly, and I'm gonna say this as well. I don't think we're doing enough to thank medical workers
In Africa.
And-
Also.
yeah,
And, in general, yeah. I know
Because-
what you mean.
across the globe.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, they're all annoyed and pissed off. I would be too.
That's
Yeah.
why they're quitting.
Yeah.
Some of them are just
That
tired of
is
it.
the
They're
shortage.
Like,
You know, we need to do as a country. I feel like we did so much more during 9/11, which affected a small group of people,
Mm-hmm.
than helping people across the globe. Like screaming outside of your window, banging pots is only just the tip of the iceberg
Yeah,
of what we need to be
they
doing
didn't
for
do
these
shit.
people. You know,
singing outside their balcony.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that like they do so much more, way more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the military they just got another 30-something billion annually.
And how about we send that money instead of to military fucking aid, send it to they sent all that stimulus check. Send some money to these nurses.
Yeah.
They can use it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Get more hours, more. You know what I'm saying?
Their
Like,
pay.
And
what the fuck?
it has a lot to do with, you remember there were like stories of nurses need to use trash bags and shit. 'cause
Yeah.
That
I
just
just-
shows the failure. They did not put the
PPE,
money
yeah.
into that.
They had to wash it, reuse it.
There are so many countries that stockpile this type of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
China got
The
a whole
N95 mask.
I mean, let me tell you something. My Dalton's wife, she had a baby, got her, body right, mind right,
Mhm.
and is back working out in the field with a child at home.
Yeah.
That's power.
Yeah.
Respect those people.
Yeah.
Those people deserve respect. Now politicians. Those are the people that are saving our asses right now.
They don't.
And yet we're supposed to only celebrate and do shit for the military and stuff. Enough of it.
It's
Frontline workers
ridiculous.
need to be celebrated. Period.
Yeah, they do.
Is there a holiday for that?
No, there will never be.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, there probably is like a frontline worker.
At a state
Holiday.
level.
Yeah.
They need to be doing those things. You remember when we were kids and they would pull you out for assembly for Veterans Day or for
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, military. I don't know, whatever military.
What do you guys do?
holidays. Well, they would do a whole. They would sing patriotic songs.
Oh wow.
Just appreciate them.
Yeah, I would bring my grandfather. He would come to the to the things and stuff like that. Because military people do. It's a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Go off. You know what I'm saying? We celebrate as well. But I'm also saying we have people who are here on the land
Mm-hmm.
doing God's work.
Yeah.
Just saying.
And another thing I was thinking about, because there are a lot of sick nurses.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, I know there's been a lot of times when I go into the doctor's office or whatever, and one of the nurses, they might be. It just looks like they might have a comorbidity, and I'm like, this is just how America is.
Yep.
Statistically, there's gonna be a lot of them within the healthcare community also, and so it just a cop.
Yeah.
I know I've seen so many videos of someone easily running away from a cop because
Jesus.
Yeah,
they just cannot do it.
Yeah, they're tired.
So in every profession here in America, it's just a thing because of our diet.
Yeah.
And so
Because we eat a lot of bullshit.
yeah, and a lot of those people just don't have time to cook. There is no time because of their schedule, because of the short staffing. Wherever there are.
Yep.
Like if you're in a small town and you have like one ER, one hospital,
you're constantly
it's just your life. So
which
it's really hard.
I feel like especially like rural areas, like you said, like I think of Gonzales. Gonzales is a very small hospital, and I think it services basically people for miles and miles and miles around. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you constantly have to be on.
Everybody.
Yeah. But see, I know in Germany, I don't know, some European country, I forget off the top of my head again. I smoke weed, but what they do is they have enough time so that you can go home, get your kids settled in, make dinner, and then some people report back to work and complete the rest
nationwide
of their shift.
mandated sick leave.
Yes.
Nationwide mandated maternal leave for the man and the woman, which we almost got, but didn't. And so a lot of these other countries, they were able to, deal with this a lot. That's why we have the most deaths out of any country. They were able to deal with this because they were already in the everybody has healthcare phase. We're the only developed country that does not have healthcare for everybody during the pandemic.
You think that this would be the straw that breaks the camel's back, but this really tells me I don't think that they're never going to give us healthcare.
Never.
I think the closest thing that they'll do is they'll give people cheaper alternatives for payment.
Even with this whole testing thing that's going to come out, you can only get it if you have healthcare.
Isn't that crazy?
And so for the 30,000
pay out of pocket
Americans, they just
to
deal with it.
That's the thing though, is like they want people to at some level pay.
Yeah.
Which is so petty to me because it's like, I don't know, like I know, like, my brother is signing up for the healthcare things right now, you know what I'm saying? And so, which is great, that there's the affordable options. But how about instead of affordable options, just give it to us for fucking free?
Yeah.
That's all.
Duh.
It's not that hard.
They make it seem like,
and then,
how are we going to pay for it?
And also, the government participates in socialistic medical care. If you work for a federal institution or if you work for a state institution, it is free healthcare.
Yeah. It's only for some.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And that's the thing with this whole the Supreme Court ruling. They're basically telling you that this thing is not as bad as they're trying to make it seem.
Right.
They're just letting us know. But
here's a hint.
CNN and MSNBC, CNBS, they just don't want to they don't want to let go of that.
Well, you know why.
Making us scream all day.
But you know why. If Lester Holt or if Anderson Cooper or Brian Gumble, whichever Hoda Coffee went on there.
Stop.
We were watching
Hoda. If they went on there,
when they're always like reporting the lady, she's like, and this is me at the
it was the Buckingham Palace.
Buckingham Palace. And then she ends her segment and she's like, Hoda. And then they go back to
Hoda. Back to you. But my thing is like, if they went on there, they know half of their viewership is people who are freaked out about this virus now because they successfully were able to find a new medium to talk about that wasn't related to Trump.
They can no longer talk about Trump. They can't even talk about January 6th anymore.
Not anymore.
Because that was
I really don't know what all that was for.
They made it seem like it was something that happened like 9/11. They're trying to make it, Oh, and Ted Cruz. So I was watching this. They were having a live. They were talking about it. It was like the anniversary or some shit.
Yeah.
And Ted Cruz was basically calling the people who came to the Capitol terrorists. And so then
He
the
walked-
next day he went on Tucker Carlson. Tucker
I saw
Carlson
that.
was like, "Whoa, I know you.
Why would you do this?
You did it," because Ted was like, "Oh, I just said, I misworded. I didn't mean to say it like that." Tucker was like, "Nah, I've known you for years. You said that on purpose."
Damn. Because why?
He
Ted
wanted
Cruz is a little bitch.
Yeah.
And he has no backbone.
just saying whatever at the time.
Ted Cruz can go. Fuck that
Literally
bitch.
just calling American citizens terrorists. And he was trying to justify it saying, it's because they attacked the police, and then Tucker Carlson was like, yeah, send them to jail, but terrorism?
Can I tell you what, though? I think that is the real success behind the January 6th
Yeah.
probes. Because it calls out all of these Republican leaders who are like, Trump is the guy.
Yeah.
And then they went and they have like literal audio proof text messages where they're calling American terrorists.
I remember
I'm like,
when that was
bravo, that's actually pretty. It's pretty talent. That's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a fun conversation about COVID, and also a complete 360 from a year ago. Talking.
I know, right?
Isn't that interesting?
Has it been 3 years?
It's
or
been
what?
2 years.
2?
Well, yeah, 2 years.
2 years. We're going on a third.
We're in the third year.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But this is this the third year?
I mean, it was really in 2019,
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be now.
Oh shit.
But it's a different variant, though. It's not even the same variant.
Well, I mean, in a pandemic, in the mind
Oh.
state of a pandemic, they're trying to hold on to that. Keep
Whatever.
them.
I feel like
try
when
to
you're
squeeze
watching
the juice out
TV,
of
you
them.
gotta, be able to step out of it and, be able to think of everything that has happening in your life.
Yeah.
I think
COVID is just a very small part of, what you're doing,
Yeah.
day to day. Like,
I think
Not even separate from it,
Crystal
it's
Ball
point.
said this. She was like, "You would be better off not watching the news at all, and you'd probably be more informed than watching CNN."
because they talk
Duh.
on about it on and on
You
and on.
probably-
Yeah, CNN. Well, that's the
See-
thing too now. So they've since that one news dude retired a few months ago.
Chris
Chris Hansen. No,
Wallace?
not Chris Hansen.
not Hansen.
Not him. Chris
Ooh.
Wallace. Child, my bad. Sorry, Chris.
Ah!
Chris Wallace, not Chris Hansen. Wrong program. Although Fox News has a couple pedophiles over there.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
when Chris Wallace left and it took away the legitimacy of Fox, which
Yeah.
it's crazy on how
And
it
he's going to
actually
CNN.
did. And that's a whole nother
Yeah.
faux pas in itself.
Yeah. That's weird.
And so now it's like, it's definitely state news, Fox, so they're tarnished, so people can't take them as seriously. But then CNN, now they're basically, I feel like they're about to go down the same road too.
They are.
And then eventually it'll just cut out their legitimacy, which I pray to God that we get there sooner rather than later.
It's it just depends on how much they're gonna control online
I don't think
because
control
they're
much,
in
though.
bed with Google.
Yeah.
They're in bed with Facebook. So
But it's also about popularity.
yeah, but they control that algorithm. They control the algorithm of popularity. Even they do it with voting.
But wait. But that's what I'm saying, though, Malcolm. There is the reality of, okay, there's the reality of what people want
Mm-hmm.
versus the information of what people want. You can do as many elections as you want. Most of them are rigged.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you always have a shitload of people who are like, ugh, I hate that decision. I would rather this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my thing is, they can tell us that CNN is as popular as Kingdom Come, but
It's all gonna be fake.
It's all fake, and we're all gonna like what we like anyways.
I'm just
know.
waiting to see when everybody finally realizes, oh, we just need to fall off of that completely.
Well, it'll happen soon because I don't think that CNN is popular amongst young
Nah,
adults.
definitely not at
People
all.
in their
Joe
20s and
Rogan
30s,
gets like 11
way
million
more.
per episode.
That'll be when it flips. If they bring in a Joe Rogan on CNN, which would never happen.
They can't.
That's not even their style. Then
Yeah.
that'll be what happens. But
Yeah.
nobody cares. People want to see that kind
They're
of stuff.
trying hard to cancel Joe Rogan.
They're never going to
That-
do it.
Right after Robert Malone had an interview, he invented mRNA vaccine. Right after Joe Rogan had him on the podcast, they took LinkedIn took that doctor off of their platform, and so did YouTube, and so did Twitter.
Oh, shit.
All of them took him off
I'm going to tell you. You can't kill somebody that popular.
because he was on there saying, "I don't think the kids need to take the vaccine, and we need to do targeted vaccination, not
Yeah.
flat everybody get it."
Yeah.
And
I
when
agree
he
with
said
him.
that, they're like, "Oh, he's
Woo,
anti-vax.
woo,
Uh-oh, cancel."
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying vaccine misinformation.
Yeah,
that's how
vaccine
they-
misinformation.
That's how they get rid of their voice.
But at the same time, people can just build. Listen, the internet is wild. Okay.
No,
And
I know.
unless they tap into
It's
net
happening.
neutrality.
Joe
know what I'm
Rogan
saying?
himself he's going to Rumble and Rockfin because now apparently Spotify's getting in trouble for keeping him on there.
Really?
Yeah.
At least Spotify out of it.
Leave Spotify.
They're not
out
even
of
an
it.
American company.
Yeah, and I'm sure.
What company are they?
Swedish.
Oh shit.
So I'm sure they'll be like, whatever.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be okay with keeping him on.
Yeah,
there.
they're like, who cares?
As far as
And Spotify
they
will continuously be the
going-
number one streaming
is
platform.
where's Finland?
Yeah.
Is that in Sweden?
That's in Sweden,
So Finland
or it's a Nordic country.
kept all their schools open, never closed their schools.
Good for them.
And they had no more deaths than anyone else did.
Exactly.
That closed their schools closed all their schools.
I mean, we look at Amber. Amber is fine.
She's good.
She was running.
She might have gotten it a couple times, but
Exactly.
still, she every
But she-
time had no symptoms.
Exactly.
And then, she'll text me a couple days later. She's like, "Should I smoke this weed if I have allergies?" I'm like, "Smoke that weed or don't smoke it. I don't know.
I was like,
But
are you
take some
congested?
allergy medicine."
Exactly.
Shit.
Taking Allegra first.
Shit.
I think fucking I don't know. You can't I don't think you can cancel people. I don't think that's a real thing.
Cancel culture, when you start canceling nuance,
Yeah.
that's when you have tyranny.
Yeah.
It's basically how you get it.
Are we in tyranny now?
We're on the edge of it.
We're
I
on
feel
the
like.
we're
the
on
brink
basic
of it.
bitch tyranny.
Basic bitch tyranny.
Basic bitch tyranny is what's going
Yeah.
on here.
We
That
watched
fabricated.
we watched that British show. Anne Boleyn, thank you. I'm not going to say the other name.
Boleyn.
Anne Boleyn. That's tyranny. I mean, kill your ex-wife because she won't give you a male heir. Wild. Give it a watch.
Yikes.
Give it a watch.
Whew.
Let's completely overthrow a whole religious institution so that way I
Mhm.
can get a divorce conveniently for myself and no one else can.
Well, France.
Tyranny.
I'm glad I don't live in France right now.
Why?
Because Macron was like, if you're unvaccinated, I want to piss you off.
For what? In what way? In what way?
He said, I want to make it to where you can't go to a restaurant, you can't
Oh,
go to the theaters, you can't go to the store.
no.
He literally said that.
That's what New York wants to do.
They are.
They
doing
want
that.
to, but
Yeah.
well, they are, and that's why a lot of people are leaving.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those places where it's like a real estate laundromat over there.
I
Oh,
saw
yeah.
a video.
Oh,
There were in New
Whether
York.
people live there or not, they're still making money from properties.
The buildings are there. Yeah.
I saw a video on. It was in New York. The police officers. There was a family eating, and then they were like, they had to come and escort them out or like make
Oh
them
my
leave.
God.
The kid. Yeah, I was like, damn. We
Yeah.
talk. Like, it was
Honestly,
crazy. I'm
fuck
like,
New
damn,
York.
That's
New York
what
sucks.
that's
That's
what I
not
have
right.
a problem with. If
Like,
you
Leave them alone.
it's
They're trying to
good
eat.
to leave it up to the state, but
Yeah.
then now it's like a democratic republic type shit, and all the blue states, I guarantee you, they're gonna have this, mandate lockdown. Like California was going hardcore on their doctors, but now they're like, okay,
I was gonna
you
say-
can come back after 5 days without testing positive.
It seems like California is starting to kind of find a chill zone.
Yeah, finally.
But New York is still on 50, bitch.
On hard. And it's after what Andrew got
Cuomo.
kicked out, and now it's that woman,
Mhm.
and she's
trying to.
no better. She's super religious
Oh,
and like
Lord. The new governor
Yeah.
or whatever.
won the replacement.
I am listen, they just need to focus on the lawsuit with Trump.
Mhm.
I don't give a fuck about nothing else. Fuck New York. New York
Yeah.
is
But I think there's a new black dude in New Jersey.
Oh, is he cool?
Yeah, I think he took De Blasio's place. I'm not sure.
Wait, De Blasio is the mayor of New York.
Okay, so it was New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
The black guy took that over, and he seems a little better. He
That's
seems like he wants to open the schools, and
That's good because New Jersey's been under strict lockdown
Yeah.
too.
he seems
From what
like
I
he wants to just do it because people are tired of the whole lockdown thing, and he understands that Omicron isn't that deadly,
Yeah,
or
People need to
it
calm
isn't
down.
deadly at all. Apparently, we can't find nobody dead.
I just want to
And-
say we literally Googled both of us on different devices.
We tried.
the death toll, and there was no information. That popped
But
up.
there was that one. They tried us. There was one death in Harris County,
He had four.
Is that
more
Houston or is that
comorbidities.
Dallas?
Houston,
Houston. Okay.
and
He was old as hell.
yeah, he was very old. He was about to.
He had
So
other,
old age.
but also he has other health
But
conditions.
so this is the thing. So it was a tweet. It was a random tweet from somebody, and then CNN ran with it.
Yeah.
And all of them ran with it. There was one dude who was just a random reporter. He called the hospital, and they're like, "No, he just tested positive, but he had this, he had that. He was basically out the door."
Oh,
But they try to make it seem like, oh, the first Omicron death in the U.S.
I remember the.
And it wasn't even.
it was a fraud. He was a fraud.
He was he didn't really die from that.
Oh my
No,
God.
rest in
But
peace.
so
He
you
might
know,
even be dead.
he might have Epstein.
No.
Well,
Shit.
I want to say this, and then we can prepare to close out.
Right.
I read an article, and it was talking about the royal family.
We were watching.
We were.
Queen, and the statement was that the Queen has turned her back on Prince Andrew.
Everything.
And he is not allowed to use any royal services.
He has no military services.
none.
There was.
And he
Nothing.
has to represent himself as a private citizen.
Mhm.
Yep.
He's going to jail.
He's going to prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going down.
That's
Prison.
why we were watching it with the. They were all at Buckingham
Yeah.
Palace.
Then they're
Yeah.
like, hold up.
Hold on. Hold up.
Hold up.
Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up,
She
babe.
just looks like she's always drinking. The way they
Don't
got
say
her
Did you
hair.
ever watch her on the old
Yeah,
show?
when
Yes,
they were just
I-
drinking
yes.
in the
Kathy Lee
morning.
At
Yep.
9 o'clock in
I
the
was
morning,
like,
wasted.
Whoa.
Wasted.
Yes.
Y'all are slizzled.
That's what all these
Swizzle,
moms they want to.
baby.
They want to see like that kind of stuff on TV.
They
I
look
do
like
too,
just
though. I'm
put
not gonna
two
lie.
housewives on the morning
But
show.
like, seriously, Housewives reporting news. I'm here for that.
What
I'll
is it,
watch
Kathy
it.
Lee Griffin.
Kathy
Oh my
Lee and
God.
Nene Leaks. You know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
God.
I would watch it. Honestly,
Leaks.
bring more of that though. More wine drinking in the morning. More of that. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we did it.
We did something.
We did something. Recorded an episode. You guys have any last words?
Well, I do.
Tell us. Tell us, young such one.
I think we should all just calm down.
Calm your tits.
Take a breath.
Get laid. So have sex.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's very
Loosen
healthy.
up.
It's very healthy.
I don't know why doctors don't recommend that.
Bitch.
But
For real though.
I ain't got Omicron yet.
And I stay sweating.
Keep them springs bouncing.
we just need to
Funny.
make poster ads. Stop the spread. Get laid or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Oh man.
But no, that's real though.
It is. It is.
Stay
No,
calm.
but for real, there's a plethora of things you can do to just take care of your body. It's so simple.
Yeah.
Exercise.
Breathe.
Breathe.
Take a walk.
Take a
Slow
walk.
down.
Get off the screens.
Hear the birds.
Stop looking at the screens for at least 5 to 10 hours a day. Try it.
Give it a go.
Just try to turn off the screen and see what it does to your mind. It slows it down. It lets you connect with yourself a lot easier. And then you can connect to your immune system a lot easier.
There we go.
And then you won't even be afraid of this variant. You don't need to be anyway, but you'll be less afraid.
Ricky.
I'll let you go because I'm still thinking.
I will say I was once scared of the whole coronavirus.
Were you?
I was.
You were once blind, but now you see.
But now I see, for thy mercy has been graced upon my eyes.
All right.
No, let me tell you something. When the quarantine first broke out,
Yeah.
and we were told that we have to like stay home, did I cry in a bathroom at my mother's home?
Oh my god.
It happened. She was a witness.
He did.
I was there.
What was the reasoning for this? Was this anxiety? Was this
I
anxiety?
think it was a lot of anxiety for him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a lot of unknown, right?
Lots
Uncertainty.
of unknown, like martial law thinking.
Was it like angry that you had to listen to what the government was saying at the time? Like, stay here?
It's more so like it's like red alert, outbreak,
Right.
outbreak,
Yeah.
quarantine.
Basically,
lock it home.
not knowing what's next.
Yes. And I literally went into the bath. My mom made like dinner for me, Carson, and Mariah. And because I think you were off already, right? They had told you to go home. I think so. And then they told me, I didn't get told I was supposed to go home until the next week.
Mm-hmm.
And so in my mind, I'm like, holy shit, this is crazy. And what happened? Oh, yeah. I went into the bathroom and I cried. I thought that this was the end. And I thought that Trump was
Well,
gonna
I
be
mean,
president
the
forever.
way that they made it seem, yeah, you'd be scared.
Yeah.
I don't know what. I think it was my job that I had at the time that gave me some sort of peace of mind because they didn't really give a shit. We were back. We stayed at work.
Same for the most part.
Actually, the people who worked in the offices got to stay home. The people who didn't come in contact with other people, which is very backwards. We worked for fucking military contracts.
So they said, back to work.
They're like, just get on the line. And so I was thinking because when the whole like, oh, someone tested positive at our job with Carlton, they were like, you get tested. But at that place, they were just like, we would know that someone tested positive like a week later.
That's how it was.
And it was like, oh, okay, that's why they were all out for a week. They wouldn't say anything, not send an email, nothing.
PR.
That's fucked up.
And that was during like
Peak,
hardcore,
like you will die
times,
if you catch it.
And we were like confused. We were like, so why are we here? What's going on? And then we're hearing like, oh, so and so's relative died. And obviously they were very old.
right.
But it just makes it seem like, oh, that person's relative died from COVID, and do we have it now? And it was just so weird. And me going through that on a daily basis, it just made me think that it was some bullshit.
Right.
It made me think, okay, I'm working at a place that's directly connected with the government. Like they get the information first. So we had the little temperature scanners where you walk in and it takes your temperature. That's all you needed. If your temperature was
Over.
whatever,
Yeah.
go home. But it was such it's like almost proof, fail safe proof or whatever. And it was very easy. And I was like, wait a minute, we could just
do this.
just do this and we'll, the whole testing thing. And you really never even heard anybody cough at all. Nobody wanted to cough or sneeze. It's
See,
as if everybody was not sick for a year.
for me, it was like when I was working, I worked like at first every other day and then eventually I had to work every day. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Because one of my coworkers tried to scheme the system. And then he was like, I want them to fire me so
Yeah.
that way I can get unemployment.
Unemployment.
And make more money.
Mhm.
Which then they were like, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure that I don't even know if he got an unemployment. to
I
be
think
honest.
he would have been able to do it by default, just by saying this is a COVID
thing, and I was
related,
gone. But fuck him because of him, I had to work every day after that point.
And that happened for a
Yeah.
lot of people. A lot of
Yeah.
people were choosing, and it's just more power to them. Shit, if you're working at a job that's just shitty, they don't treat you right in the first place.
Yeah.
Get that fucking government check. Figure it out.
My thing
Figure
though,
it out after that, though.
But my thing though with it was, I guess he could still be scamming them right like to this
Literally
very
right
moment.
now.
You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? But at the same time, bro, I'm like, don't feed into the crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, it has nothing to do with crazy. It's who's
Survival.
the crazier one.
That's
You know,
true.
at this point, you're working at that job that you really,
Sucks.
balls.
Which I'm not complaining about my job. To be honest, for him, he was really just a
Mhm.
fucking idiot because we really
Yeah.
didn't do anything.
He's probably better off what he's doing now.
Yeah.
Even though
He's also a jerk.
it's not really fulfilling for him, he
Yeah.
could be doing something better with his time. But
think he's
there's probably other people that, like, there was this one story about like 60% of Red Lobster workers were sick during the pandemic.
Not the Red Lobster.
You know, and they had to work. They couldn't go home or they would
Right.
get fired.
Right.
And so for them,
Gotta get that check
they
biscuit.
deserve that
Red
shit, man.
Lobster.
They fucking, because they're only working for $2 an hour in the first place, so they're working off of tips.
Yeah.
And we're going in there coughing and shit.
Let me tell you something, Beyonce. You over here talking about Red Lobsters and surfboards. How about pay Red Lobster?
Yeah.
Their employees.
How about come out with the Beyonce Red Lobster dish?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Megan, I'm looking at you too. With your hottie sauce.
Butter sauce.
Butter
For
sauce.
that lobster.
Ricky, what did you learn today?
What did I learn? I learned, well, just thinking back, I just see how the pandemic has gone from the start to now. And I definitely feel a lot more relief now than I was before.
Yeah.
I never felt like I was, totally freaked out by it, but I would, buy the antibacterial wipes and, disinfect
But
that a little
all
bit.
of them.
And then after a while, I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, what am I doing?
Were you the people buying toilet paper?
I was not. No, I don't
wipes?
do that.
Okay.
That was never me. And we weren't, hoarding shit. We don't
Right.
hoard shit.
We barely use toilet paper like that.
Yeah, like
Good
shit.
for
Like,
you.
calm down, people.
Bidets, people.
But it was
Also,
crazy.
if you're using rolls and rolls, what the fuck is wrong with
Get your
ass?
asshole
No.
checked.
Yeah,
Because that's not
honestly.
right.
That ain't
Sheesh.
right.
Maybe
girl.
shave a little bit.
Shit, that's what I'm saying. It should be a white.
Especially if
them
you're
crusties
a
out.
Costco
Right.
shopper. Because I see that they have the limits and they're fucking.
Yeah.
They're, like,
They're stacked.
yes.
Big limits.
They're like, the fuck.
Child.
But, it's. I don't know. I just feel like, with the pandemic, you still got to live your life and, do your shit.
Yeah.
I definitely can see that more people are wearing masks now, and I'm like, I still don't.
I
I-
actually do.
I will wear my mask just because I'm like, I am vaccinated, but I may have the variant. And if somebody else gets, it's just like I think about the other person.
But do you think it's not like less people are gonna be vaccinated?
Well, I'm not talking about vaccinated people. I'm just talking about people who are unvaccinated. If I have the
But
virus,
do you think-
I'm okay. But
do
if
you
somebody
think,
who isn't,
Do you think an unvaccinated person at this point has not even got COVID at all,
I think for me,
or cares if they get it?
well, okay, this is what I'm trying to say. I'm going beyond Omicron per se, right?
Yeah.
There are other variants.
Delta, there's still-
No,
I
that
think
I'm saying the
Delta.
exact same thing.
But that's what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that there are still other variants of the virus that are deadlier that I could be carrying around hypothetically.
Delta is just as deadly as like the flu,
Well, that's what I'm saying.
and so
And I have the
it's
shot.
deadlier. But at this point, it's wiped out by Omicron.
But that's what I'm saying. Though.
It's going around, and the cases that are in the hospital are most likely Delta.
Right.
But it's even in the hospitals, most of the positives are Omicron.
But like I said, I want to do my part, and if I want to like stop a spread or
What do you
It's
What do you
all
think
personal
about the other
choice.
people?
What do you
don't wear
think you
masks,
can
wear
do
masks.
to stop the spread?
I'm gonna wear my little N95 4 827, whichever the one that my job gives me once a month or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I keep it clean, and I wear it out in public.
So let
Whenever
me
I do my
just
thing.
say
Or
this.
Let me say this: I don't wear it out in public. If I'm like in a super cramped, tightly confined area, I'll put it on.
I only wear it in the
Well,
grocery stores.
This is
For me, anywhere
why.
else,
This
I
is
don't
why
wear
I asked. What do you think? You can
Also,
do?
it's gross. Just wear your mask because it's like people sneeze, people cough. I don't wash my hands. I want to just sneeze.
But
into my
this
hand.
is what I'm asking.
Okay.
I asked, what do you think you can do to stop the spread of the virus?
I don't know. Just exercise.
You literally can't do anything.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I'm gonna stop it. I'm
you
just saying,
you can only slow it, and you can only protect yourself from it.
But can I also ask you this? Why is there such a focus on Omicron, or why is there such a focus on coronavirus when there are other things that people get sick from, like the flu,
because they need something to say. They need something to control people over.
That's also what I'm saying. And I realize I did say I wear my mask because of the coronavirus. It's not because of the coronavirus.
But
I like to wear it because I'm like, I just think it's cleaner, honestly. I
no,
just think it's
it is.
Yeah.
But that was a thing in Japan when they got hit with the fucking bomb. And now it's more of a fashion statement than what it meant to be, what it meant in the beginning.
True.
So because of their culture in Japan, in the beginning of the pandemic, they had like 100 deaths.
Right.
Still to this day, maybe 200-300 deaths in Japan.
Right.
That's because of their culture and their diet and just the way everybody does what the government says there.
Right.
Well, culturally, also, like, if you're sick, you just wear a mask when you're on a subway and all.
And that's why I
just
feel like
for yourself.
I have allergies. I have a tendency, especially this time of the year. I sneeze a lot. And it does help me breathe also, like whenever there's a lot of like cedar in the air and shit.
There's a major benefit to certain people to wearing a mask.
Yeah.
But the benefit doesn't outweigh the risk of you wearing it or not wearing it. You're still like, there's so many ways for you to get a virus.
Right.
And wearing a mask is just one way of slowing it.
Which is not bad.
Which is not a bad thing to do. But to say I'm trying to protect other people that don't want to get the vaccine, I don't think you're doing anything for them.
And again, I wasn't saying it was because of people who aren't.
It's more
vaccinated.
for you.
It's for me. It's so that if I have the flu or if I have a cold or if I have the virus or whatever, I'm just not being gross and sneezing and coughing it out loud to people.
Yeah, and you're also not inhaling other viruses.
That also bacteria makes way more sense. Like when I went to the store, I did wear a mask after I got I had like a fever.
People are gross.
I had the fever, and so for that day that I felt sick, and I went to the store, I wore my mask. As soon as I felt better, and I felt like I had all my energy back and I was good, I'm back to wearing no mask because it feels better to me not to wear a mask.
Yeah,
and that's just basically what I'm trying to get people to get to is like, whatever you need to do to protect yourself, I understand that fully. But there's a certain level of protection you can give other people by doing something for yourself.
Right.
You don't prevent everybody in your car from dying just because you take your seatbelt off or put your seatbelt on.
Exactly.
That's not how that works. You're only protecting yourself.
Right.
So that's literally how the vaccine works. You're protecting yourself, and that doesn't mean that anyone else cannot or will get it.
Exactly. But at the same time, people are germ buckets.
No, and that means you need to know how many germs you have in your body and how much you are spewing out. So that makes you determine whether you need to wear a mask, not get vaccinated, not get vaccinated, work out, whatever you need to do to where you protect other people. Try and do that. But there's almost, we think and do everything for ourselves, or we should.
Right.
And so there's so many different variables of people being able to die or get sick that we can't, at a certain point, we just can't control that.
Oh, yeah. Listen, the day I realized I didn't have to cover my mouth.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
So, I'm just saying for people who are unvaccinated, we have to stop demonizing them. We got to respect them more.
Right.
For people who either want to wear a mask or don't want to wear a mask, we need to respect them more and not have too many mandates that create inconveniences for other people. Like the other day, Ethan was telling me he had to wait on a bus to leave for a whole 15 minutes because there was a guy there who didn't want to put his mask on. And the bus driver was like, I'm not leaving until he puts his mask on. He didn't have a mask, so eventually they kicked the guy off the bus.
Yeah.
And so
how does he get home?
It's just one of those things. It's like, the bus driver is rightfully just afraid of anyone who doesn't have a mask on. And so that delays people who do have a mask or don't care, and then it just creates these new delays over a mask.
Question: it is a private thing. You have to pay for it to ride on or whatever.
Mhm.
Does it give them the right to be able to be like, I can refuse your service because it is a
The
private
bus,
exchange?
yeah, it does.
It does give them the right.
It gives
to
them
do
the right.
Yeah.
I don't think.
So I feel like
it-
people can't get upset whenever. People,
No, I wouldn't
no
get
shoes,
upset.
no shirt, no
and I'm-
services is the thing.
And that's why I
you know?
said rightfully so for the bus driver. He
Yeah.
has the right to say that.
Okay.
But the fact that around the media and the talk about this thing, they've made everybody rightfully so feel a certain type of way.
Mhm.
That now, even if I'm like, hey, maybe just let him ride on the bus without the mask, I sound crazy. You know, even though that's really not the craziest thing if there's two people on the bus and a bus driver.
I think you're all crazy for taking the bus. No, I'm kidding.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, here in Austin.
Yeah,
Hell
I'm
yeah.
just kidding.
Shit.
Yeah, you're better off just walking out.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. Well, this was a fun episode.
Mm-hmm.
We all learned a lot,
We did.
and we hope that you learned something too.
Yes, please.
Please tune into the next episode of Fresh Air on. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, this is a great episode.
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Well, I'm Ricky.
I'm Cam.
And I am Malcolm today.
And thanks for tuning in to A Lot to Say. Like and subscribe, share with your friends. I don't know, write us a nice note if you want to.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't know. Do something nice for another human.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah. If you see someone who is,
Be nice.
it's kind of like, you know, we used to say, don't judge a book by its cover. And it just goes for a lot of this, you know, if you see someone that's doing something that you may not agree with your life choices, just
Mhm.
because you don't understand what that thing is doesn't mean it's wrong.
And remember, if you see something,
Say something.
say something. Till next time.
Sure.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh,
oh, oh, ew,
oh,
ew,
oh,
oh, ew.
amazing.
All right.
Oh,
Oh, ew. All right.
amazing.
All right.
Amazing.